Today I look at the British rock group Cream, formed in London in 1966 as a power trio in which each member was a virtuoso player. The band comprised bassist Jack Bruce, Eric Clapton on lead guitar and Ginger Baker on drums. With poet Pete Brown, Jack Bruce was the main songwriter and handled most lead vocals, although Clapton and Baker both contributed in these areas. Schooled in rhythm and blues, playing in acts like Alexis Korner's Blues Incorporated, Manfred Mann, the Graham Bond Organisation, the Yardbirds and John Mayall's Blues Breakers, the Cream trio pioneered British rock music, developing the genres of blues rock, psychedelic rock and hard rock, and were a key act in the early rock album era. Together for just 2 years they made 10 singles and 4 original UK top 10 LPs. Rolling Stone journalist Jan Wenner described Cream as the first supergroup where each of the members had achieved success elsewhere, either in a solo career or within another group. This was a popular concept in the late 60s, and following Cream were supergroups such as Crosby, Stills and Nash, Humble Pie and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Indeed, after their breakup, some other supergroups comprised of Cream members such as Blind Faith with Clapton, Baker, Steve Winwood and others, Air Force with Ginger Baker and Graham Bond, Stevie Winwood and Denny Lane of the Moody Blues, and Derek and the Dominoes, which included Clapton, 3 from Delaney and Bonnie, and Duane Allman of the Allman Brothers. Cream reformed briefly twice, firstly for their 1993 Hall of Fame induction, and then in 2005 for a series of shows in London and New York. In 2006, the band were awarded a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. I hope you enjoy the video. Welcome back. In this instalment I'll concentrate on the first of the original UK long players from Cream, and in particular the mono version. Clapton, Bruce and Baker were already heroes when they came together under music impresario Robert Stigwood in the summer of '66, and had known each other from the Ealing Jazz Club where they jammed with Alexis Korner from 1962. Blues crusader Eric Clapton had quit the gritty R&B outfit the Yardbirds when they took on a more commercial sound, and was now Britain's premier guitarist at the height of his Clapton is God phase, having recently starred on the seminal British blues LP Blues Breakers. The respected multi-instrumentalist Jack Bruce, who favoured a 6-string bass, had also played with Clapton in the Blues Breakers whilst on a sabbatical from the Graham Bond Organisation. Just prior to joining Cream, he'd had a taste of commercial success with Manfred Mann, but this was somewhat at odds with his jazz leanings. Ginger Baker had replaced Alexis Korner's drummer Charlie Watts when the latter left for the Rolling Stones. Then Baker played alongside Jack Bruce for 2 years and outlasted him within the Graham Bond Organisation. His powerhouse showmanship and unconventionality, such as the simultaneous use of 2 bass drums, earned him the reputation of rock's first superstar drummer. Initially dubbed the Group's Group by Melody Maker's staff writer Chris Welch, this new trio were christened the Cream by Clapton, as that's what they were, and their frightening amplifications sounded like Armageddon. After one small rehearsal date, their live debut was at the Windsor Jazz and Blues Festival on the 31st of July '66, alongside The Who and Georgie Fame. Barely together a month, they had little original material, so relied on energetic blues reworkings, opening to an ecstatic crowd with Willie Dixon's Spoonful. They gigged throughout August, playing at venues such as the Ram Jam Club, the Marquee and the Flamingo, hotbeds of the sizzling British rhythm and blues scene. They recorded their first UK single that month, titled Wrapping Paper, which entered the UK top 40. In September, they recorded the follow-up single I Feel Free, which just missed the UK top 10, and in October the band got to jam with the newly arrived guitar sensation Jimi Hendrix, a devotee of Clapton, soon to be a friend and a major competitor. Their debut LP, aptly named Fresh Cream, was recorded in just 5 days on a 4-track machine in the autumn of '66 at London's Rye Muse Studios, later renamed the Mayfair Studios. It was engineered by John Timperley, produced by their manager Robert Stigwood, and released on 9th of December that year. Probably the most bluesy album by Cream, it features new arrangements of classic blues tracks by Robert Johnson, Hambone Willie, Dr. Ross and Skip James, plus their studio recording of Spoonful, the first song they officially performed live. The remaining tracks were originals by Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker, some being co-written by Bruce's wife Janet Godfrey. Per the British convention at this time, the first two singles were left off, but the B-sides, NSU and Cat Squirrel, were included. The track Spoonful would be released the following year as a single in America. The LP appeared on Robert Stigwood's fledgling Reaction Records label and distributed by Polydor. Issued in mono and stereo on the Royal Blue label with silver print, the mono version was under the catalogue number 593001. The label states Made in England, and the rim text is an all rights reserved notice. Stigwood's stylised RS monogram appears at the 2 o'clock position. Mono records have an upturned triangle device, whereas stereo copies have a twinned circle motif. The LP cover is the front laminated non-flipback style, stating patents pending on the lower right corner of the rear. The catalogue number and mono wording appears at the top right, reading up the sleeve. Covers were printed and made in London by Ernest J. Day Limited. The cover design is by Paragon Publicity, and the photograph on this one is not credited. The inner sleeve is a plain Polydor Company die-cut paper design with a polythene liner. I find these are of an unsatisfactory quality and can produce the nasty record rash surface deposit, so I store mine in a fresh modern liner. The sleeves for these are fragile and truly fine copies are scarce. Within the current price guide, mono copies in decent shape are listed at £150. The mono versions were deleted shortly after release, and for many years only the stereo recordings were available. And that brings to a close my brief history of the mono version of the debut LP, Fresh Cream. That's all for this time. I appreciate you joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the content today. If you did like the video, please feel free to subscribe to the Rare Record Room channel to see similar episodes and to receive notifications for new uploads as they happen. Thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you next time. Until then, take care. Bye for now.